YouTube, and thank you for joining me today on my YouTube channel. My name is Marty the Magician. Very lovely to meet you. And this little gentleman here is very handsome, gets his good looks from his daddy. His name is, you guessed it, Little Bitty Marty. Hello, little Marty, how are you doing today? Say hello to everybody on YouTube. He's so adorable. You know, he's absolutely obsessed with chocolate.
Chocolate!
Oops, I should not have said that. You see, every time that Marty hears the word chocolate...
Chocolate. It's delicious.
He does that. And then he freaks out, and then he has to eat a whole bunch of chocolate. It's really disgusting. I love him to death.
I want the chocolate.
Little Bitty Marty, you have to stop interrupting me while I'm trying to talk to the YouTube people. They can't understand what I'm saying.
Give me the chocolate. Yum, 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 yum.
Fine, very well then. We'll very quickly give little Marty some chocolate so he will stop talking during the show.
Chocolate.
Because it's very interrupting. Okay, here we'll give you some chocolate, Marty.
Yeah.
Now that we got that over, today we are going to do something very special. It is a product review. Why are we doing a product review? Well, because everybody else on YouTube is doing a product review. Why can't we, right? Today we are going to do a review about a black magic. That's right, we said black magic. I mean, really, don't get all freaking crazy about it. This is not any type of black magic. This is the black magic pocket cinema camera. That's right, one of the most popular cameras, the smallest popular camera, might I add, that is specifically designed for the production of cinema, and it fits inside of your pocket. Yes, that's right, you could just whip the black magic right out of your pocket and ready to make some boogie woogie happen and have a great time, right? I know, right? This is Birdie's absolutely very cute little machine. So today we're going to go ahead and go through some of the features that the camera has, how to use it, and why you would want to use this in a filming situation, and all the little bitty perks and stuff. Also, aside from doing the review on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, we have in conjunction the Rokinon 14mm T 3.1 Cinema Lens MTF, which is a micro four thirds format lens, to go with the micro four thirds 60mm sensor located here right on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Together these will make a great investment for anyone who is an independent filmmaker or maybe a professional filmmaker who wants a small rig on the go to really give you big bang for your booty. Right, little Marty? He loves magic just like me. And why do we love magic? Because magic makes people feel really groovy, right, Marty? That's right. And also, I mean, who wouldn't want to film the magic without the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera? I mean, it just makes perfect sense. Alright, so let's get started today. First, we will go ahead and do the Rokinon Cinema Lens. Alright, so first we're going to go ahead and do the unboxing of the Rokinon technology by Samyang Optics 14mm T 3.1 full frame ultra wide angle cinema lens, which is a really good product, perfect for doing the cinema look with the Blackmagic Cinema camera, because Blackmagic Cinema Pocket camera is a cinema camera, and this is in fact a cinema lens. The focal length of 14mm is equivalent in 35mm to about a 24 or 27mm wide angle lens, which is the most commonly used lens in the filmmakings today. Which is why you wouldn't really want to get this one, right? It's a perfect choice So as we open this up here, you get a nice little lens here wrapped in the opaque plastic, and a nice little instruction manual in there as well. You can go ahead and pull that out, which is really nice. And then we also have here the lens. So what we'll go ahead and do is we'll just go ahead and pull down the opaque plastic here, and right away you'll notice that you have very good quality of your lens. It has these geared rings here on the lens, particularly designed for a follow focus, so you can both focus and manually control your aperture on the lens when in different lighting situations and wanting to get different types of depth of field to your lens, and so on and so forth. Here we have the focus ring, also geared, very useful to have. You could use a manual follow focus, or you can use a motorized system. There are a lot of different things out there like that. Or if you're like me, you just use magic to make it turn, right there, little Marty? He's still eating his chocolate, he's adorable. Here you can see it comes with a very good quality lens cap to protect your lens from scratches and whatnot, and that which is really high quality lens here. So they have right away you'll notice this is very high quality glass. It's like kind of designed from the shape of your eye here. You know, it sees everything in a prestige wide angle and just really gives you good quality. It's an amazing lens, and we'll later on we'll go ahead and attach it to the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Alright, now that we got a look at the Rokinon Cine lens here, that little bitty Marty is so heavily guarding with all of his life because he loves to make movies and magic at the same time. Which is why we are doing a product review of the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, which we'll go ahead and dive into right away. So as you can see, it comes in this very shiny box that is got all sorts of really pretty graphics on it, and information about it on the box. But we really don't really care about that. We want to know what's inside the box, so let's go ahead and pop right into that here. Okay, so right away as we open up the box here, you will notice that you get your very own copy. Yes, that's right, I said DaVinci Resolve, which is a very magical software. In fact, by our opinion, it is the best color grading software in the world to really get your groovy looks and grading of professional looking film to go right along with your Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. You get two little SD cards here, you get a software and a manual and the actual product itself. You can go and activate that. Look at this little sweet here, huh? Pretty sweet. And when I say sweet, I don't mean the kind of sweets you eat like chocolate that little bitty Marty here is absolutely obsessed with. Isn't he adorable? He has little bitty hands. This is cute. Anyways, we'll just move right along since we got it here. First, right away, you'll notice you have a nicely packaged Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera that you can just immediately pop right out there and start fidgeting with right away. So what we'll go ahead and do is set this aside here real quick and look at all the other things you get in the box. You have the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera battery, which does not last very long compared to what I've heard by most people say. So it would always be a very good idea to invest in multiple batteries just like this one. They have some mimicky looking ones that you can also buy that are a little bit cheaper, but they perform just as well as this one it comes with. In fact, they're probably just the same with a different label on them. It may come from the actual manufacturer. They're the same, but we don't really know because we're not really wondering about that. It's not that important. So here we got here. Right there is a little bitty strap that we can actually put on the camera that will help us keep the camera wrapped around our wrist, that just in case we drop it, they won't lose the camera and fall on the ground and break the camera. So it's really good that this comes with the camera because you don't want to be dropping your camera and breaking it, because it is very expensive. They run around $1,000, and depending on which lens you have compared to the lens we have, the Rokinon Cinema lens, you don't want anything to happen to that as well. So right here you also get the charger, and that will you just come right out there just like this, and you've got an attachment where you can put whatever type of wall outlet plug you need to fit your country's region power, and those little bitty head adapters are right on here. So if you are in the North America, like little bitty Marty and me, you will very simply want to attach this to the battery charger here, just sliding it on top and pushing it down until it clicks just like that. So we will go ahead and just remove this from the packaging. It just pops right out there, and then this little bitty jack card here will plug directly into the side port here on the bottom, and then you can immediately start charging your Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the other details here. Right after we go ahead and just plug in and connect the Cine lens. So we'll go ahead and do the Cine lens connection, and then we'll show you all the different features and talk about the features of this. Alright, so right away what we'll go ahead and do is take off my hat because it's really hot in here and my head is getting a little itchy. So, right else what we're going to do in order to attach the Rokinon Cine lens to the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera is to, well, first of all, retrieve the lens from little Marty here. Alright, little Marty, please hand me the little Marty. Let go of the lens.
No.
Let go of the lens. Let go of the lens.
No.
Little Marty, I'm not messing with you. If you don't let go of the lens, no more chocolate for you. You'll be grounded from chocolate.
No.
That's what I thought. Shame on you. You should not be a bad boy.
Me love chocolate. Yeah, he's absolutely obsessed.
Very, very naughty little bitty Marty. He's obsessed with chocolate, so I convinced him to let go of the lens so we can proceed here. But anyway, so what we'll go ahead and do right away is you'll see really detach the bottom lens cap on the bottom, which is protect the lens. You just go ahead and twist that right off, just like that, and we'll go ahead and show you how to do this. But first, you also need to remove the lid off of the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera as well, which is just turned counterclockwise. So just a little bit there, and then it pops right off, just like the cap on the lens. And now you're ready to connect the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera to the cinema lens or whatever lens of your choice. Most likely, if you have a micro four thirds lens, it will have a little bitty red dot on the bottom here. Also, will have a red dot is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Is you'll find the red dot here on the lens is a red dot, and here on the camera is a red dot. So you'll take the two dots like this, and you will line them up very precisely. Be very careful not to hurt the camera or the lens. And after you put it through the threading of the camera, you just turn until you hear a nice little click. And there you have it. Attach your lens to the camera. This is a rather big lens for a small camera like this, but it's good quality lens and it's perfect for filming. So why wouldn't you want to use it? So what might be a good idea for you to do if you are using it like this is get maybe a little rail system to help you support the lens that I have invested in. You can get it relatively cheap, not too expensive. This one here, probably about $30-40, maybe $50 after shipping. So in this sort of idea, we have the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, which is in fact small enough to fit in your pocket. And you can't just really run and gun it, pull the camera out and start shooting if you are using a pancake lens, because they're much smaller. But in a situation where you're not just doing quick on-the-go stuff with your pocket cinema camera using the pancake lens, if you're using a cinema lens like this one, it just would make sense to have a rig of some sort, because you may want an external monitor or other things, like I said, the follow focus, the matchbox, whatever. So it is a pocket cinema camera, but it was designed obviously for making films, just like well, it is a cinema camera and the cinema is a film. So here we go right away. we'll go ahead and jump into a lot of the different features you have here. It's not made of cheap plastic. You can see here it's made of some sort of steel or alloy of some kind, and it's really a good solid camera. I mean, if you dropped it, you might scuff it up a bit, and it probably will survive minimal damage here. So, anyways, here you can see on the top of the camera you do have the recording button. You push that to start your recordings, and here we have a forward and backward button, and also a play button to watch whatever it is that you have shot or filmed. And here on the back you have a beautiful little screen. It is viewable in broad daylight, which is really nice. Obviously you will need to see what you're shooting if you're outside. If not, you can always bring a little umbrella or something to cover it up, and you're good to go, or whatever. Put a blanket over your head, or whatever works for you. Here you have the iris button. You can push that, and the camera will automatically adjust the iris to what it thinks would be the correct exposure, depending on your light or whatever. Unless, of course, you're using a manual camera cinema lens like this one, in which you can just automatically control with here the manual aperture. As you can see, this particular lens goes all the way open to 3.1 down to 22, which is really good for a nice little cinema camera such as this one. And so here we will go ahead and get into the features of this here. A focus button. So if you're using a geared lens, you can push the focus button and it will automatic focus for you, which is a really nice feature. But we won't be using really these two at all on this camera with this lens, because it is a manual lens. But it does work quite well with the other lenses that are not manual focus and iris. Here we have the OK button and the little 4 arrow buttons to help you navigate through the menus of the camera by pushing the menu button. And then, of course, right next to the menu button you have the power button, which is really groovy, because that's the button that you push to really make the magic happen. Well, that's how the magic starts. To make the magic happen, you really push the record button. But we'll not try to make that too complicated. So, before we can do that, what we will need to do is flip over to the bottom of the camera, and you'll push down this little switch. It pops open, poop, just like that. A little bitty battery compartment where you can then take your Blackmagic Cinema camera's battery and place it in there ever so nicely to the... Well, I suppose I put it in there backwards, didn't I? I will have to shake it a little bit to get that out of there. Be sure that you put it in there correctly, otherwise you will have some problems, and that won't be good, because we don't like problems. So after you figure out how to properly take your battery and put it in there, you'll just push it right down in there until a little bit of yellow clip kind of hugs over it there. After you've done that, you will then want to put an appropriate SD memory card right down into that slot there. Hopefully you can see it. I'll move it around there. Right in there. That's where the memory card will go into, so you can then start filming. But so we'll go ahead and grab a memory card. Here I have a Scandy 64 gigabyte 95 megabits per second. This is a perfect card for doing the filming with the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, because it's got a lot of space and you have to have a fast speed if you're going to record the raw footage files. So you just go ahead and flip that over and make sure it's in there the right way. The magnetic little node right there will face towards the front of the camera, and you'll just push that in until you hear a clicking noise, and then you're all ready to go. Just flip that down and push the switch up, and then let's go ahead and power up the camera. You will go ahead and just hold down this button until it initiates the powering on the sequence. And yes, we have it powered on this beautiful little camera. And now we will go ahead and go through the settings here, as you can see, and we'll go ahead and go through that and get started with that. Alright, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to set up the camera, and you will get to see the actual footage shots using my lovely assistant here, Mr. Handsome Marty. Marty! What did I tell you about sticking your hand in your pants? Not in front of everybody on YouTube. That is inappropriate. I seriously. What happens in your suitcase stays in your suitcase. Come on, get your hand out of your pants. That is very appropriate. Come on now, Marty. Take your hand out of your pants. God, what did I tell you? The mini Marty. He looks like a grown man, but he really is like a little child. So, anyways, we'll go ahead and set this up here, and I will let you see some footage from the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. So, as you can see here right away, just like me, Little Bitty Marty is looking pretty dang good. Yeah, Mr. Little Bitty Marty. Yes, that's right. So, anyways, we'll go ahead and go through the menu here. You can see right away you have the menu button here. You can go ahead and push that menu button, and you have a option for metadata, settings, format your memory card, focus peaking on, meters, and frame guides. So with here you go ahead and click the metadata. What you can do is you can go through and you can add all the information for the scene you're shooting, and then save it, which will give you that option of having information about the footage you shot already attached to your footage there on the camera. And now if you want to go down here, using the arrow keys here to focus peaking and hit OK, that will activate the focus peaking on the camera. So anything that you want to be in focus, as you can see here, will be a green, very greenish here. I'm not sure if you can see that there. I'll get a little closer to the camera. Anything that the focus is will be little green patterns on whatever it is that you want to be in focus with there. So yeah, really nice feature. As you can see, if I focus on it in the background, you have these green patterns, which is really nice. Help you focus good. So we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and turn that off now here. Going back to menu, hit OK, and we'll big starts with you here. Okay, now let's go over to the meters and hit OK on the meters, and you can see we can turn on the metering, which gives you the well, here in this case the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. It will show you the meters of the microphone, so you can get your levels in good. And down here you have a little bitty histogram. So as you see, as I move it around, the light changes here on the histogram, so you get an idea about your exposure and whatnot. It's a really nice feature to have. We'll go ahead and keep that on actually. And then right over here, hit the menu button again. You can go over here to frame guides. Hit OK to turn on the frame guides. And now you have a 2x40 aspect ratio frame guides for shooting in the widescreen look. If you tend to crop your video footage later on in the post-production sort of stage of making the videos, which is really nice, and making all the magical happen in the computer. So now that we have showed you the frame guides here, we can go over to the format memory card, and you can hit OK, and you can choose between the FHS Plus or the EX FAT to format the memory card if you want to do that. But we will do that right now because we have important footage we shot earlier of Marty looking good, and we don't want to delete that. So now, last but not least, we have here the settings button. Hit OK on the settings button, and you've got all these magical features. Why? Because it is a magic camera, a Blackmagic camera, and it is a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. So down here right away you can see you've got these 4 different sub-menus here. You can click down through them. It's a camera menu, and the microphone menu for doing the audio adjustments, and here we've got recording, so you can choose all these different options here. So right away we'll just go ahead and start with the camera. You can put in the date of the time you're shooting, the time. Down here you can skip down over by hitting the right arrow key apparently first, and then going down to the bottom here you have you can change the ISO. You can take anywhere from 200 all the way up to 1600 ISO to get your exposures right and everything for the sensitivity. This camera performs very well at all these ISOs. The 1600 ISO is really good too. It has very good performance. Some people say that it has a little bit of grain sometimes, but it looks, more like a film grain rather than just noise. So here down you got the white balance. You can change your white balance. Here it's set to 5600 Kelvin temperature for the daylight temperature bulb we're using here in the Rokinon light. And here you can adjust the shutter angle. It is kind of like the, well, you would say the shutter speed in most cameras, but here in the shutter angle is more like an actual cinema camera. So the 180 is equivalent to 1/48 of a second shutter speed, and then you can change that to a different shutters here to give a different look. If you want the exaggerated look in your look, you could bump it up really high for exaggerated fast motion footage or whatever to give you most of an action-packed sort of look, kind of like bumping your shutter from 1/48 up to like 500 or 1000 to really exaggerate the motion there. And of course now we won't get into that too much. And then let's go ahead down to the next menu here, which is the recording options. You have microphone inputs there, and channel levels here, line there, and we have the inputs here and there, and also a speaker volume on the speaker volume here on the camera, so you can hear what you recorded when you play back. Here you go to recording, and you can choose the raw, which is you record the raw data to the camera. And you can choose the ProRes HQ and also the ProRes 422, which is really good editing for on the fly if you don't want to process all the raw data. You have the option of shooting with the dynamic range of video or film using ProRes 422. And here, of course, you've got the 24 frames per second, 25 frames per second, 29.97 frames per second, 30 frames per second. For the videos, we will do some slow motion footage, 23.98, standard back to 24 frames per second. Now, anytime that you do the raw recording, it automatically will switch it to video. See, we will not let you choose the video. It automatically chooses film dynamic range, because in order to get that most dynamic range out of the camera, you have to shoot in the raw. But you can get pretty good dynamic range using ProRes 422. Also, this will, well, you get more flexibility as well as doing highlight recovery or whatever it is like that by using RAW and shooting with the raw footage there, which I usually leave that on most of the time, so it means you get the most quality. You can also do time-lapse videos, so you can go over here and choose 2 frames, 3 frames, 4 frames, all the way up to I believe it is 10 frames a second, which is really nice. So if you want to do some time-lapse footage, well, actually, apparently you can do it all the way up to several minutes. It looks like here. Oh, looks like 10 minutes actually. So you can do a stop frame footage up to time-lapse intervals up to 10 minutes, which is really nice. So we'll go and turn that off there and come back down to here, the last sub-menu here for display. You can choose the dynamic range look of film for when you're viewing your footage, or video, whatever your preference may be, video or film. I come back down here, you can adjust the brightness of your screen here on the camera, which is really nice. Sometimes in here you got the zebra patterns, which is really nice as well. A language, you choose your language depending on your region. I think I just changed it to Japanese. Konnichiwa. Thank you very much. Tomo arigato, Mr. Roboto. And here we have the frame guide. So whenever you activate the frame guide mode, you can choose what aspect ratio you want it to have by simply pushing the arrows, 239 by 1, 235 by 1, 185, which is the standard flat aspect ratio here, and thirds, HD TV, 4 by 3, back to this cinescope on here, and then of course the frame guide opacity, where how thick you want it to be overlaying your video I record, and then of course you can have the LCD overlays as well, HDMI overlay output, and well, I think that pretty much sums it up there. So there you have it. You've learned just about everything about the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. It is a beautiful camera. Obviously, you can tell that yourself. I guess anything I can really say here about the camera is that it also has the information up here for your battery meter. Like you see, it was at 48% right now. But so the battery does not last too long, maybe a half hour to if you're or to an hour if you're lucky, depending on what you're doing here. And then of course you got all this stuff up here, the color temperature, angle, and ISO, frames per second, and up here it'll show you the time code here. And if you want to go ahead and view whatever footage you just shot in the camera, you'll go up here to the top and you'll push this play button right here. And when you do that, it will pull up the menus of the video that you have shot. And if you want to watch that video, or you could push the play button and it will play that. Or if you want to skip to a different video, you push the arrows on the top, and the arrows on the top will flip it back and forth between all the different video footages you shot of your film here. And then you go ahead and push play, and these will play back whatever it is that we shot. Obviously earlier we shot here Mini Marty looking really good, and you know, we'll go ahead and you know, we'll push play again, and I will stop that there and go into the tell you about it. There is an issue here a little bit. Generally, production cameras do not have the rolling shutter, but this camera does unfortunately have rolling shutter. So as you can see here, I can show you an example where I've got Mini Marty here, and we're filming him, and if we move this back and forth, you can see that there's very wobbly in the way that it processes the image. It's just terrible, really terrible. Alright, so we can see right here on the side is like we showed you earlier, the 12-volt charging port to power the camera. We also have a mini HDMI output on the camera, so you can hook it up to an external monitor of your choice. The input for the microphone, which is really healthy, so we were actually can plug our microphone or audio system directly into the camera and record internally. It does have a microphone on the front, just about here, but the microphone and the quality is very terrible for this camera. So you would probably want to use this, unless of course you really don't care about audio and whatever you're shooting. And then of course at the same time you have the headphone output where you can listen to the audio you've got going in, or you can listen to the audio of the video footage you've already shot. And of course one of these little things as well, which is really nice. Well, thank you very much, YouTube, for tuning in to watch this review today. And since you've all been so good, we'll give you what you've been waiting for and really been wanting to see, and that is real magic. That's right. We happen to have a empty pop can here that I have found in the recycling bin. And what I'm going to do is wave my magical hands over this little pop can here and pick it up, and I will give it a magical little shake, and voila! It this happened to be for a pop now, which is getting all over the place. Oh crap! What's going on? Please stop a little puppet. My goodness. This was not supposed to happen, but that's okay, because we can still drink the magical soda pop. Alright then, well, I hope you enjoyed that magic and that magical product review. Don't forget to subscribe and watch the rest of our videos. We'll do many different things involving magic, and it'll be really awesome. Thank you for YouTube, and you have a great day. La da 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 da. I love you, you're adorable. Yes.